I think we had several nicknames, nice nicknames on Orbit, but I think the Queen of Transfer sticks with me the most. We also, if she was on the Russian side, we called her the Tsarina of Transfer. But when we docked, Sandy took over and basically became the de facto commander of the space station shuttle complex for those 8 days that we were there. I think it was 8 days. And just, there's nobody else, I think, in our office that could have pulled that off. And she's a great reason for the success of this mission. She was a pleasure to work with. And Sandy, take it away.
What Doug was trying to say politely was that I turned into this absolute horrible dictator and worked them finger to bone for 8 particular days. Mr. Coates mentioned that we had a lot of transfer, thousands of pounds back and forth across the hatches. And of course, our space station crew, the Russian crew and the American crew up there, they all pitched in to help out. But execution of a mission is only a very, very small part of the success of a mission. And we mentioned this from orbit, that 99% of the success of any mission goes into the planning. Because if you don't start out with a good plan, you're just doomed to failure from the very start. And we were very lucky on this mission to have a superb team of logistics people working out all the details of how we're going to move all these bags. So first and foremost, I would once again like to thank Jeremy Owen and his team for all of the hard work that they did in planning out how we were going to unpack this big monster cargo vehicle and trade it back. Without their hard work and their dedication and their persistence and their attention to detail, we would have been doomed from the very start, regardless of how much of a dictator I was once we got to the space station. Also, Mike Meyer and the ACO team, you guys did a great job sort of ironing out all the wrinkles in the plan and keeping the timeline up and getting us prepared for all of those activities. And the OSOs with Rebecca Winfield and your group helping us set up for all of the small detail kinds of activities we were doing in the MPLM and all of the preparation to get in and out of the MPLM. You streamlined that. It allowed us to work very, very efficiently on orbit. It was really great to be on the space station again. I want you all to know it's in great shape. All of your hard work and all of the persistence and all the attention to detail and all of the care you put into that station is paying off. It's beautiful. We're set for the next 10 years for a lot of great science. We felt like we had a part of each and every one of you up there with us, and hopefully we conveyed a little bit of that during the mission. And finally, I would like to thank my family for supporting me for so many years. My mom, who's here today, Rose Hall, my 2 sisters, and my brother, who aren't here, but they trooped down to Florida for every launch, and my sister even made it for the landing. And even though it's hard to watch someone you love launch off the planet in a rocket, they supported me all the way, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Also, on the other side of the operations, of course, is the program side, and the station program was undergoing a change in how they did their cargo processing for this mission. And I'd like to thank Kenny Todd and Dave, Greg, I'm having a blank moment up here. I'd like to thank you guys for all the help you gave us in getting access to the cargo before the mission so we could sort of plan with Jeremy and his team how to transfer it. That was very, very helpful, and it really helped us get our mission done. Finally, I would like to introduce Rex Walheim, our mission specialist, too. Rex was a pleasure to fly with. He stayed so calm. He was always there when you needed him. He was in the MPLM a lot, helping out with the nuts and bolts of the transfer. And being in the same class together, it was just great to share this experience with him. He was our EVA guru, and he had a tough job because he had to plan out all of the details of an EVA that he, in fact, was not going to conduct himself, and he did a spectacular job. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Rex.
Thank you, and I want to start out too by thanking my family in the front row, my boys Alex and Jeffrey, and my wonderful wife Margie. There's no way I could have done this crazy whirlwind training flow in 9 months if you hadn't made it so stable and wonderful at home. So thank you for that, and let me launch on this incredible rocket to orbit. And then, if you've seen the pictures of our reentry, we come home basically inside a meteor, so it's pretty impressive. Thanks to that, and I do want to echo Sandy's thanks to the EVA team, Glenda Brown and her team. It was not easy working with two different crews, one on the ground, one up in space, and pulling off a complicated EVA. And her and her team made outstanding procedures and set us up for success, and we were able to accomplish everything. And we also want to pass on a thanks to Glenn Lutz and the XA EVA Projects Office who allowed us to have all the suits, all the tools, everything we needed. They always come through, so we really appreciate that. And we'd also like to thank the support organizations that always help us, starting out with Flight Crew Operations. It was Janet and BK. You guys always gave us what we needed. We really appreciate that. Dick Clark and Aircraft Ops, they give us these great T-38s and help our families get back and forth and maintain our aircraft just spotless. Absolutely wonderful. And then Paul Hill and Mission Operations Directorate, thanks for your people. They're just awesome. It's an absolute pleasure to work with them, and I consider myself a proud member of MOD from back in the old days, and I always carry that as a badge of honor. And there's my friends, the flight directors. So we just want to say thanks to the flight director office, John McCullough in charge of them. And I'll tell you, there are many times at JSC when I think I'm working hard and I just don't want to work anymore, but I literally think of the flight directors, the hardest working people at the Johnson Space Center, and think, they're working harder than this, so I can do this, and I really appreciate that. So I really thank everybody for all the help and everybody we didn't have a chance to name. But how do you sum up the 30-year program of the Space Shuttle? We've heard a lot of ways. It is a celebration. One of the best quotes I saw was down at the Kennedy Space Center yesterday. It said, "Don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened." And that's the way I feel. I am so blessed to have been a part of this program, and I know you guys are too. Yeah! And the joy we feel as being part of this incredible 30-year program will make us redouble our efforts, and we're going to have another program coming along the line that we're all going to be just as proud of. And I look forward to the journey with you guys. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I want to extend my thanks, first of all, to the families, the spouses of this crew, and to the families and spouses of all the crews over the years, and the people that have worked so hard in the Launch Control Center, the Mission Control Center, building these orbiters. It's been an amazing family here at NASA to make it possible. I want to thank everybody who worked so hard over the last 30, 35, 40 years to make the shuttle program possible and so successful. We've lost some friends along the way, dear colleagues, that we'll never forget. I want to thank Senator Hutchison especially. We wouldn't be up here today celebrating this flight if it weren't for Senator Hutchison. Now this crew, I want to say one final word about the crew. They've been really remarkable before the flight, during the flight, and after the flight, representing the astronaut office and the Johnson Space Center and NASA so remarkably well. They make us look really good. They're very thoughtful and considerate crew. They recognized everybody, and they've gone out of their way to say thank you and respect everybody who's ever supported and worked on the space program. So as a final thing, I've asked Chris to read the plaque that the crew left in the cockpit of Atlantis when they left.
Thanks, Mike. This idea came to us as a little bit of an afterthought, and through the incredible resources that we share with the folks over in Building 5 there, they came up with the plaque for us to hang, and maybe some of you have seen it on Twitter or perhaps online, but the inscription is it's from the heart, and I just thought I'd take a moment to read it all to you, and we'll conclude with this. First of all, there's the picture for those of you who probably can't see it very clearly, but let me read the inscription. And we had it cut to fit right over CRT-3, right in the middle. And if I was as clear thinking as I wish I was right after landing, I would have put it right on there, but I had to have somebody run back and pull it out of my saddlebag and put it on there for me. But it says that this plaque flew on the final space shuttle mission in July 2011. From the fortunate few who have served in space to the thousands who make spaceflight a reality, thank you for keeping the dream alive. Your passion for these amazing spaceships will always stand as proof of what this country can do when it dares to be bold. Thank you, everyone.
I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Again, I want to thank Senator Hutchison. We have a future in space. We're not stopping. We will have a future in space. A reminder, we have astronauts in orbit right now. We're going to put Karen up there soon. So we do have an ongoing space program, very active one, here at the Johnson Space Center and at NASA. The crew has agreed to stick around for a little while and sign autographs, but they've been floating around in space for a couple weeks, so it's a little bit warm out. Don't keep them too long, please. Thank you very much.